All right, we are live. Hey, everybody, welcome back to my channel. I appreciate you all for being here. This is your average logical thinker, and my name is Mo, and I'm also at Mo Perspective. So today, well, first of all, let's give honor and glory to the Most High. Thank you, Lord, for waking us up this morning, blessing us and keeping us, Lord God, giving us another chance to be better today than we were yesterday. Yes, God is so good, right? This story, I was actually just on Donovan Sadiq's channel. You guys make sure you guys go check out him. He is live right now. And I was getting too engrossed, and I'd already just done another video reacting to Lady Boulay. And I said, okay, now I'm going to go live and do my little video about the situation with Don and another gentleman that I want to talk about. But what happened? Yeah, so I made the mistake of checking my phone. And next thing you know, there's Donovan there. So what up, Supreme Free? How are you? I didn't have my comments on, but now they are there. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. Make sure you guys hit that like button if you guys are joining. And also, if you're coming through, just make sure you watch a couple of minutes before you pop off. That way, your girl Mo can get some views and some, they can push my stuff through the algorithm. But Donovan was talking about Dawn from En Vogue, and it is really, really sad to see because, God made this earth plentiful for everybody to have what it is that they need. We should have everything we need. We should have all of the basics, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, that bottom tier, shelter, food, things like that. Those are just basic. It's not normal to live in your car. That's not normal. Okay. And I don't think it's right. We're trying to sensationalize living in our cars and things like that. And I think if you're making money from it, sure, go ahead, go for it. But as a way of survival, no. I'm grateful, though, that people do have vehicles that they can live in if times get rough. But it's very stressful, especially for a woman. I don't think a woman has no place living in her car. But let's go ahead and watch this video right quick. And then I'm going to be pausing it as we go. So if you don't like pausing and all that, I would try my best to link all of the videos in the description at the end. But if you don't want to pause and hear me talk, then just click off, and go watch it for yourself and formulate your own opinion. But here we gonna chat about it. And I ain't gonna be here long, y'all, because I got some phone calls to make. All right, let's see. I'm still figuring this out, y'all. Share screen. We in my watch later. Share. Okay. See, I don't want to play all. I just want to watch that one. Here we go. And this is another woman reviewing her.
You sent in a proposal, but you're until it was very surprising for.
All right, let me make sure. All right, so it's good. All right, so we're gonna make it big. And we're gonna play.
Number of people. So I'm gonna be quiet right now and let's look at what she's saying about her situation.
You guys, for the past almost 3 years, I have been living in my car. I said it. Oh my God, it's out.
Yeah.
I've been living in my car. Oh my gosh. If you remember, if you guys were with me, in 2020, I did like 105,000 interviews. And in the interim, I was living with my parents in Vegas. And that was wonderful until it wasn't. I love my mom, but she became very angry. And a lot of her anger, she was taking out on me, and I was her target all the time. And I was like, I can't deal with this. Like, I respect her too much. Let me get out of here. And I was sleeping in my car for maybe about a month in Vegas. And then
Mama was tired of her grown ass daughter sleeping on her couch. So just know this, when you become grown and then you got to move back, Most parents, I would have to say 90% of parents are not going to make it a soft landing when you come back home. It is not a soft place to land, because guess what? They want their freedom and their peace and they quiet just as much as you do. So coming back home, there's only a select few people that can live with their adult children. I got a great aunt who is, I think she's 89. She might be 90 already. And one of her children, my cousin, my second cousin, who's my mom's age, she has always lived with her mom, with my great aunt. She didn't have kids, got married, always stayed with her mom, right? She's not going nowhere, okay? They are like bosom buddies, but they're like best friends, right? So that's a different dynamic. If you got one of them mamas or one of them parents that's no nonsense, ain't got time for it, want their own peace, you come back to their house, they are not going to make it comfortable for you. And I tell this and stress this to my son. He's only 10, but I let him know, listen, everything that I'm doing right now for you, all of the tools that I'm giving you right now, I am setting you up to not have to come home. Now, do things happen? Absolutely. We see all the government shutting down and cutting people off and, firing them from their federal jobs and in the civilian sector. I told you guys, hand to God, I have put in hundreds of applications, still haven't been. I'd never even gotten out of all of the places that I applied for on the civilian sector and on the government side, not one callback. I was referred to the hiring manager. Literally, I can count on one hand, maybe 3 times, and that went nowhere. So they're not hiring, okay? They're not hiring. And some people say, well, you're just not trying hard enough. You're just not putting in enough. You got to stay on it. You got to miss me with that. I know what I know. I ain't stupid, right? So it's tough. Things happen. And the truth is 70% of us don't have an emergency fund, right? That literally means that if something were to happen, like if you lost your job, you got a divorce, whatever, there's a huge chance that you can end up living in your car just like Don. But let me tell you, these parents ain't playing. They don't want you back in their house. So if I were you, I would do whatever it took. Get in, get what you can out of them, and get out.
And the guy that was co-managing me at the time was living in LA, and he said, you need to come back to LA. Okay. And he said that I could stay with him. And so I was like, okay. He's like, I don't have a lot of room, but I'll make room for you. And then when I got to his place, he actually didn't have room for me. So it turned into, okay, well, I'm going to put you in a hotel for the night. And that one night turned into 8 months. Oh my God, you guys, because every apartment that I looked at, every single time I looked at a place, I would call him and I'm like, okay, can you meet me here? I would tell him ahead of time, of course. And then he wouldn't meet me there.
Hey,
so I would take video and send it to him. And he's like, no, oh my God, this neighborhood, I hate it. I mean, I felt like he was playing games, and I knew he was playing games, and I wasn't the one. I'm like, come on, I'm trying to make this easier on you because financially, I know it's got to be hard. You're paying your rent and you're paying my hotel. His apartment was $1,700 a month. And then my hotel was over $3,000. Yep. So, and I was always stressed every week because he would pay weekly for the hotel. So every week I was like, oh my God, can you?
Yo, this man was paying her hotel fee for 8 months. Why do you think he didn't just get her a place? Does that make sense? His own rent was $1,700, yet he was spending $3,000 a month in hotel fees for her. Why wouldn't he go ahead and just get her apartment for, say, $1,500? Why would he do that? Now, it sounds like he was a manager. And listen, if I'm in my parents' house and they're making it uncomfortable and somebody say, hey, I got a place for you, guess what? I'm going to. So I don't blame her for packing up and rolling out. I don't blame her at all. But the situation sounds different. So I'm trying to figure out, what was he getting out of it? I would really like to know if they were intimate, but that's none of my business. And that has nothing to do with any. Well, I think it does, because that would explain why he would do that. I don't know. Hey, Thunder. Thunder says, I remember going to visit my folks after I was grown. I guess I was showing up too much. They're like, don't you got your own place? a commercial came on, and my dad looked over at me and said, "Look, son, I don't need help watching my TV." Child. Pop said, "You overstand your welcome, son. I don't need to see you that much." That was enough for you to be like, "Noted. You ain't got to worry about me coming over here no more watching your TV. I'm trying to have quality time with your old ass and you." But anyways, let's see what else she say. I don't understand why this guy would do that. That's a lot of money. Maybe he knew that once he got her on her feet, that she would be popping and he would be able to make some money off of her. But it don't sound like that's how it went. So let's finish seeing what Don talking about. This is very interesting.
Can you afford it? Are you okay? And he's like, "No, I can't, but I'm getting it together." What? You're the one who said to go to the hotel, and you're not approving any of the apartments. Like, it would be so much cheaper to just get me into an apartment. Like, what's the problem?
Okay, so she let you know a little bit about what's going on. And
So that's the problem I have also. I think there's more of her talking, which we'll go back to in a second. But if you relocate to a place, and I'm just speaking for myself, everybody operates differently and everybody does things differently. So this is no judgment on her. Because again, like I said, homelessness is not a laughing matter. It is serious. And but you have to at some point kind of study and try to figure out where a person's head is at, their brain is at, and how they comprehend what is actually happening to them. Because if I were to leave and I go to California, to a whole new state in a crazy city like Hollywood, Los Angeles, and the person that said that they were going to take care of me can't do what it is that they promised, I'm probably going to do everything I can in my power to do what I can for me. So I'm not understanding why she's just relying on him. Like, while you're out looking for apartments, right? And you're showing him these apartments, what were you doing for the other 23 hours of the day? I'm just curious, because let's be honest, she's a beautiful woman. If you En Vogue back in the day, all of them, no face card declining ever, body not declining ever, talent, all of them could sing, all of them were beautiful, and she still looked good. Hair is laid, and she living in her car. And I'm gonna tell you something: beautiful people, talented people have no excuse not to be employed. Now, maybe she's like me, and there's certain things that I just won't do. There's just certain jobs I won't do. But I will say this though: although I'm very prideful and ego, and that is something that I work on every day, and I pray to the Lord to, give me more humility, Lord. Let me be more grateful. Push that ego and pride aside, right? So there was a time where I did put an application at Pizza Hut, right? Because I'm like, oh, I can deliver pizzas, and it'll get me out of the house, and I can get tips, whatever, just to supplement some income or whatever. Had an interview, didn't get hired, right? So at some point, when do we put our pride aside? And if we're not booking gigs singing, how about we go back to school, take out a student loan, something? I'm trying to figure out, what was you doing, sis, the rest of the time? What were you doing? It doesn't look like she's got children that she's dragging behind her. So it's just you. When it's just you, oh my God, you rule the world. My goodness. I look at my son sometimes and I'd be like, oh my God, if you wasn't here, buddy, I would be overseas somewhere. I wouldn't be here. I would not be I promise you I wouldn't be in America if I didn't have my kid. And I keep thinking, well, take your kid with you, And that was the plan before COVID. But then COVID, ruined everything. And we're here. But that is by God's design. Everything happens for a reason. Thunder says, most of us are 1 or 2 paychecks away from homelessness. Facts. Because we are a country full of consumers. We would rather consume rather than to save and invest. That's why there's so many YouTubers out there that are teaching us and telling us about financial literacy and what it means to deny yourself of the things that you may want now so that you could have that and more later. But a lot of us don't live like that. And Donovan had spoke about it on his channel. He's on there right now talking about, how we don't, do what we're supposed to do with what we have right now. We squander it. We live above our means. And then when the rubber hits the road, we're sitting here on YouTube talking about I'm living in my car, and I'm hoping, well, she's on Instagram. She should get a YouTube channel. That way she can start getting paid for I would watch her just for the hell of it. Honestly, I would watch her just to support her. But you know what? I know how this thing works because she is still beautiful, because she is talented, and because she has humbled herself enough to come online and say, look, this is my situation. God is going to bless her. Somebody is going to see that and like, yo, I got you, Don. I know you. I've grown up watching you, listening to you. I want to help you. Somebody, I know in the comments, somebody said, Tyler Perry, where you at? Because he's done it for other people. He did it for Tia or Tamara's husband, put him in a movie. He made $1 million. Jeffrey from the Cosby Show, they found out that he was working at damn Trader Joe's. Tyler Perry put him, and I just saw him on. He's now on what's his name? The Wayans brothers. They got a TV show called Papa's House. Me and my son watched that on Friday nights, and so he's got a role on there. So he, but somebody put him out there. He didn't put himself out there, but somebody put him out there, and he's booking gigs like that. So I know because of this, Dawn is going to be blessed. I got a feeling, Thunder says the old folks called it resting on pretty. They said, get out there and don't turn your nose up to any job. Anything beats that goose egg. True. People do rest on pretty for so long. And then when pretty is no longer here, they're just like, now what? You got to have more than just a beauty and the booty. What Demetri be saying? What's behind the booty? I love it when she says that. Oh, I'm buffering. I don't know what to do. Is it still buffering? I came back in. Okay, good. Thanks, Thunder. I appreciate you. All right, let's see if this lady, she's going to say something else, and then I think Donna's going to come back. So let's see if there's more to it, though. But tell me what you guys think. I mean, it's a sad situation. And like you said, a lot of us are 1 or 2 paychecks away, so we really just have to save. And right now with the economy being the way it is and Trump putting those tariffs on people and charging people appropriately because America has been taken advantage of for far too long, things are going to be rocky for a while. So right now we should not be spending, I am fortunate, very, very fortunate. And so I keep thinking, well, dang, do I want to take a trip this year? Do I want to do that? And it's like, you really shouldn't, I want to. There's all kind of things I want to do, especially the spring break is coming up and then summer's coming up. I got all kind of plans in my head. But realistically, is that the smartest thing to do? No, I should be paying down the rest of my freaking debt. Y'all know I just got a whole new AC unit that cost me $6,700, right? I need to be paying that off rather than thinking about trips, right? But it is what it is. We are consumers. Let's see what she's saying.
And it shocked a lot of people. So many people assume that celebrities who are singers, a part of legendary groups, have all this money. But we've seen this time and time again, especially towards Black singers. We've seen what happens because it is a music business. Sometimes there are bad contracts. The industry is not what it used to be. She was in a group and you have to split up the money. We saw what happened with TLC. So we don't know all of what happened behind the scenes, but she's been living in her car for 3 years.
Woo!
I couldn't help but think about Angie Stone, who just passed away. She had said that the company owed her.
Did y'all know that? I didn't hear her say that. 3 years? 3 years. She's been managing in her car for 3 years. What happened with Angie Stone? Let's see.
millions upon millions of dollars and that she couldn't even retire. She had to keep working just to keep bringing money in. So this happens a lot more. Now, Angie Stone wasn't homeless, but there have been a lot of celebrities who were singers who have been in this situation. I said situation because it's a situation. It doesn't mean that it's permanent,
Right.
but there will be people who will say, "Well, why come celebrities and singers just can't get a 9 to 5?" Because it can be a little embarrassing for some of them because you're a part of En Vogue, and then when they see you working maybe at Walmart or something, it can hurt their pride a little bit, and I can understand that. But we don't know. There are celebrities who do try to do stuff like one of the members from SWV. She does accounting. So, and sometimes they just don't know what to do. There are some.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think a lot of them, like I talked about earlier, having that pride and not wanting to go back to regular life after you've traveled the world and everybody knows you. To go back to it's not easy. I would imagine that would be, but at some point, I think she finally got at that 3-year mark. She said, okay, enough is enough. I got to figure out something. Maybe the people online can help me. I got to tell my story because this don't make sense, you know? And I was reading on Donovan's feed, somebody had said that En Vogue didn't write their songs. So they don't get residuals or royalties from all of that music. Can you believe that? Having all of those hit albums and all of those songs. I'm not going to try to sing it because y'all be coming for me and my voice, okay? Everybody's not a singer. But they had some great hits. I mean, they had albums that you could play from beginning to end, no skips. And to go from that, traveling the world, being beautiful, being known, being booked, you know, and then she went on to get in Lucy Pearl with Raphael Sadiq, Donovan's cousin. And that didn't work out because they had some disputes, you know, something about these bands. And for some reason, it just seems like, and I'm sure it happens in white groups too. Like I know the Dixie Chicks, they broke up and things like that. But I feel like it's more prevalent with Black artists and groups. A lot of them don't stay together. Groups from back in the day, they do, like Earth, Wind, and Fire. Some of those bands and stuff like that, they stick together. I think there was just a different code back then. Like, F what you talking about, we gonna get this money. But a lot of these newer groups, for some reason, their ego, I think it's all about ego. Ego gets in the way and will have you out here living in your car. Ego, you know? Thunder says, I'm not sure why she couldn't find work. And I know I'm going to catch some popcorn came out of my mouth. My bad. I'm going to catch some heat for this. But was she ever married or has kids? Is so why won't the baby father help? See, that's the thing. We don't know. This is the only clip that I've seen. I don't know if there's a longer clip on Instagram, but if I find that out, I'll come back in the comments and leave it. But I don't know. It doesn't look like it. It looks like she's been single and it looks like she doesn't have children, you know? That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're by yourself, it should be easy as hell to navigate. Get you a little job. I'll move to a town where nobody knew me. Go to one of them well, no, because then you might, that's a whole nother issue right there. But I'll move somewhere, you know, I will go back to school and learn a trade. I would take out student loans, learn a trade, and just start over. There's nothing wrong with starting over, right? You world renowned. I remember one time I was on the bus because I used to live in LA. I moved to LA when I was 19. My ex-fiance, we moved in together. So when I graduated from high school, he proposed. He was 3 years older than me, right? He proposed. No ring at the time, right? Because he's 21, I'm 18, whatever. He's like, I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So like maybe 5 months later, he presented a ring to me or whatever. And we ended up moving in together. Right. Now, my granny did not like that. She was like, you know, I don't like that smacking and shacking shit. I don't like it at all. And that, because my granny don't know how to say my name, my real name, right? She was like, and I don't like it. I don't like it, you know? Well, anyways, tried that for 6 months. It did not work out, okay? Because he thought he could come and go as he pleased. And I'm like, look, bruh, this ain't how this gonna go over here. What up, Donovan? What up, True Saber? So what happened? Okay, so I ended up, my mom had already moved up to LA. So I just came up to LA and stayed with her. So I lived in LA for a while. And of course I would catch the bus and things like that. And there was a guy that used to be on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, right? He was Jazz's friend, I think, right? And he made a couple of cameos on there. And I seen him on the bus one time, and I looked and I thought to myself, what the hell is this dude doing riding the bus? Like, I just seen you on TV, watching you on Fresh Prince, and you're catching the bus, so I could see how their pride could get in the way, wanting to go, not wanting to go back to regular, schmegular, everyday life with people catching the bus and stuff like that, because people are going to look down on you. But that's where we have to push the pride aside in order to do what's going to be best for us in the long run. We're too busy worried about what other people think. That's the problem, but like I said, she at that point where she's like, enough is enough. Y'all gonna know that I've been struggling. I need it. True Saber says, hello to you. I wish someone would tell young people the truth about the music industry. Don't let the videos fool you. The money ain't there. Never was. Everything rented, right? Everything rented. They out here fronting and flossing and got these young kids thinking that, this is the life. It ain't what it is. And then they be signing them damn 360 deals, end up owing money rather than getting money back, right? Shameful. Donovan says, I can't wait to hear this story. Oh, yeah. I saw a dude on the bus. Let me see. Have I ever seen, my mom used to work at the Bloomingdale's at the Beverly Center. So I would see celebrities all the time up there. But these were ones that were still working and still, had money and things like that. But to see one on a bus, it really blew my mind. I was really shocked, just like the people were shocked when they saw Jeffrey working at Trader Joe's bagging groceries, like, bruh. And that's really a shame that those people from the Cosby Show can't collect on those royalties, and that they stop showing the Cosby Show is a great show, regardless of what Bill Cosby did. The premise of that show was very, very meaningful to our community. And I wish I could show my son, the Cosby Show. He is right now in the middle of a different world. And sometimes he'll put it on even without me watching it. So, just so he can get a glimpse of the shows that I used to watch back in the day. But he loves a different world. Post office, truck driving, work offshore, call center. She's a celebrity. Use her likeness to move products. Yeah, use her likeness. Exactly. And I think that may have been her plan when she came to LA, but it just sounds like things didn't work out. And it honestly, at this point, she just sounds like she's stuck. She don't know what to do at this point. She's in her. I just want what has she been doing for 3 years in the car? I wonder if she is working. I need more details on this lady. But at the end of the day, I wish her nothing but the best. I really do. So there's another guy that I want to talk to you guys about. And since I got men on the channel, I don't know if True Saber is a male or not. But I want anybody's opinion. You guys tell me. So there's a show called Ready to Love. Okay. Now you guys know I'm a reality TV junkie, unfortunately. I used to watch Love and Hip Hop for years until that got tired. Real Housewives, I used to watch all that stuff, and then that got tired, and that has kind of evolved. But I definitely started out watching The Real World on MTV. That was my show. So that's when I got hooked on reality TV. I was a kid watching these people. And so one reality TV show about love is called Ready to Love, and they get all of these singles and they match them up, and well, they mingle until they figure out who they want to match with, right? So there is a gentleman. What Bill Cosby really did wrong was he tried to buy NBC. That's what I heard. Yeah. When you go against the grain and you want to do for self and start your own empire, they don't like that, right? Just like Tulsa. They're going to burn it down. And Tulsa wasn't the only city that happened to. Right? I got to make sure that I show my son. There's a documentary called Burning Cities or something like that, where it talks about all of the Black neighborhoods that were self-sustaining that white people came in and just destroyed. Right? And so it's very disheartening just to know our history here in America. My God. But yeah, he tried to better himself. And I think that's the same thing they said with Prince, right? Prince was trying to do something too, and then that happened to him. And Michael Jackson as well. Like all of the greats gone way too soon. Way too soon. So anyways, on this show, Ready to Love, I'm going to show you guys that, well, I can't show I'm going to let the clip play, but with no sound because of copyright, because it is aired, I think, like on like a streaming platform. So I'll get copyrighted. But the show is called Ready to Love. And there's a gentleman on there where on the last episode, we find out that this brother is homeless, don't have a car. He don't have a car and he's homeless. He's living in a room, I think. Now, there's nothing wrong with that because things happen, right? People go through shit. They lose shit, as we can see. My question to y'all is this. Should a person that doesn't have all of the basic necessities to survive in this society, should they be dating? That's the question. Thunder says, I just planted 2 trees, a fig and a citrus. Oh, nice. Thunder, you're in Texas, right? I need to start planting. I got my little yard back here, but y'all know I hate this place and I want to leave. I want to move. I want to sell. But I've come to realize that because my mortgage is what it is, I am very fortunate in that I think I should stay here a little bit longer. I think as long as I keep my nose clean and do what me and my son have been doing, mind our business, stay to ourselves, that will be fine. I mean, my townhouse is made of brick, so if somebody shoots, prayerfully it doesn't go through the window, right? But I gotta do what I gotta do. So I have a lot of equity in it because I got this place at a great deal, and people are wanting to buy it for like a lot more than what I got left on it. So I could take the equity and get something else and just keep it. But honestly, I don't want any ties to this place. I don't want to rent it. It's too many issues. There's so many things that I have to fix internally, not just aesthetically, internally, that will cost me thousands. And I'm not willing to do that for this place here. So, oh, you're down south. Okay. And Diddy that thought he was going to be a partner in the liquor business. Oh, you talking about Ciroc? So it turns out Diddy was just the face of Ciroc, right? I thought Diddy owned Ciroc. But yeah, he was just the face and he was trying to get in. And then all of a sudden, all this stuff comes. Now, he was getting down. Listen, we're not going to give Diddy a pass. I'm so sorry. That's one. No, sir. No, sir. Lace the baby oil. Video tape. That man was a monster and he got everything that was coming to him. I am so sorry. But look at this guy, y'all. Let me see. How am I sharing the screen? Let me exit out of solo. Let me show y'all.
Do you feel
like what can they expect from you?
I feel like I'm a strong leader, right? But sometimes I may need to take a fall back and have that strong woman by my side that can say, I got this, babe.
Yeah. Okay. So let me turn the volume off and just let it play in the background. So this guy here, his name is Cisco. As we can see, he is very built. What up, Shot? Handsome, okay? And he lets everybody know that he is a Latino man. He is Hispanico, okay? Whenever you see a Black person that is not from this country or their origin is not Black, they gotta let everybody know that they ain't one of us. And so he is one of them that likes to do that. How can you deal with a Latin man? Have you ever dated a Hispanic man before? Where he from? No idea, right? But look at him. the boy is handsome. The boy is built. And in this scene here, he is telling this lady right here, who's had lots of work done, mind you, no shade. She just be doing too much. But he let her know. And she is, you know, she understands. And he can appreciate that. You know, he came out to her and let her know, look, I got issues. Everything is not going the way I thought it was going to go. And so there's another young lady, right? Where's that one at? Tay. Now, Tay, this is his main connection. Tay is his main connection. He's really feeling her. He's the one that he feels the most. They communicate the most, right? Now, mind you, it's like 20 women, 20 men. And then each week they dwindle down. The women meet and they tell Tommy, I don't like this one. I don't like that one. And then they get rid of them. So it dwindles down to usually like 4 or 5 couples at the end. Okay. This is the one who is his number one, and he's her number one. However, Tay, his number one, did not receive that news the same way the other lady did. And that's how it goes. The one you want don't want you, but the one that's willing to take you, you're like, eh. And so look, he takes off his shirt. Mind you, this man, from the first episode to where we are currently, this man has had a sweating problem. They could be inside, outside. And mind you, they're in, I think, where are they at? Philly, and it's summertime, right? Look at what y'all call them. Mine is like fat, but what you call them? I gotta get it. I got muscles though. Don't listen. He got that. He got everything. So he explains to Tay in the last episode, look, I was married. I got divorced. I lost my house and I lost my car and my job. I think he mentioned that he had lost his job while he was married, and then he ended up getting a divorce after. So I don't know if the wife left him because he wasn't working or what, but Tay is like, I don't know. And so on the last episode, Tay was saying, I really, really like this guy. I could see us being together. You know, I know he's a great man, blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm willing to try. So Tay is willing to give it a try, y'all. She's willing to try. But you have a lot of people too. Let me see. At least on Instagram, there were a lot of people going in. Let me see. Let's read some of the comments from the first one, because you'll see a lot of stuff. Let's see. So this lady says, can you guys see that? Yeah. So this lady says, I don't know, but this is the right person to share his story with. Someone who has been where he is and overcame. I believe Shanice can help him with tips on how she got her life back and winning, because that lady that you guys just saw, not Tay, but the first one, is one of, what do you guys call a boss bee, right? So apparently she's been through times where she struggled before too, and somebody gave her a chance, or she worked her way up to where she is now, you know? So I think she was a perfect person for him to come out to and to share that information with. This lady says, I feel like this sometimes things happen out of our control. I think sometimes we forget we're all human. Even though dating shouldn't be at the top of his list, I'm sure he may still need a support system, a friend, or a shoulder to lean on. This lady says, said it before and I'll say it again. He shouldn't have been casted for the show. He needs to prioritize his stability. OWN, which is the network, really needs to do better. This lady says, he said several houses, let me get a hug. I knew something was off about him from the start. A lot of people said that too. A lot of people who review the show were saying something about Cisco just ain't able to put my finger on it, but something just ain't right. We as women take on these projects all the time and they backfire on us. I wish she would just keep it moving and leave him alone to straighten out his life. What happened? Oh, I went to a commercial. I hate it when they do that. Just because you're on a commercial, I'm still reading the comments. Oh, this is a whole nother. Oh, yeah. Gabrielle Union finally gives up on 50-50 marriage with Dwayne Wade. Y'all, that's a whole nother thing, too. I can't. I think she let society and social media get in her head and make fun of her about going 50-50. So that's why she's now retracting her stance on 50-50. She's retracting her stance on 50-50 because at first she was okay with it. She knew what she was getting into. She's the one that actually suggested 50-50. And now all of a sudden, after she got all that flack, she's back talking about, I made a mistake. Really should be letting my husband take the lead. I don't know. Look at shots. Great day. Thunder says, I have collard greens, tomatoes, okra. I tell everyone to grow something, even if it's just peppers or tomatoes. You know what I want to grow? I want to grow potatoes because we eat a lot of white potatoes. We eat a lot of rice. I ain't making no rice patty, though. I don't know how to do that. And sweet potatoes. So I know for a fact that I want to do sweet potatoes and I want to do white potatoes. Veggies, I'm in Virginia, so I know that I'm not going to be able to do like collard greens or cabbage year round. I just got to figure out like where to start and like where to get good seeds from. And I want to be able to plant it to where I could lift it and take it. So I got to plow out some areas and get some of those crates, I think, and then plant it and then, you know, in the crate, but attached to the soil some kind of, I don't know. I know there's a way to do it, but yeah. Very, very important. We should be growing our own food because the stuff that they're selling us is poison. It's literally poison. And I really hope that RFK can really do something with the Food and Drug Administration and get all of these dyes taken out. You know, my son already knows, like, he can't get cereal because either it contains bioengineered food products on it or it's got red dye. And I don't necessarily mind blue and yellow, but that red dye, literally, I can see the difference in his attitude and how he communicates and moves once he eats something with red dye. If I get him Skittles, he's literally like the Tasmanian devil. And I'll be like, what did you eat? Oh, I have that candy cane. Like, you can literally see it. And then he can't sleep. Like, there's something to that red dye, y'all. But I digress. Truth Saber says, I feel you. My point is they can be monsters. Just don't try to get in ownership positions. Yeah, that's the thing. When you try to do it your own way and get in ownership positions and take something from somebody else, they don't like that. They don't like that. That's why I think it's so important for all of these celebrities, especially the Black ones, to really just, especially if you're making millions on a movie, why aren't they pulling their money together to make studios? You already got Tyler Perry Studios. Oprah got her own thing, and I'm sure there's probably another one out there. Why aren't these celebrities pooling their money together and creating studios so that we can employ? But again, Black people, unfortunately, here in this country, the way that we think is really, really selfish. We're not willing to sacrifice for shit. And we're not willing to work together because of our ego, our pride, our jealousy, our envy of each other. We don't want to see each other win. It really is a crab in a bucket mentality. And so it's really hard for us to work together, whether we have money or not. It's just the way it is. But they really should be pulling all of those millions together to create studios to help others. But they're okay being satisfied with their little bit of biscuits because that makes them above everybody else. They're not willing to bring anybody else up with them. You know, as long as they got mine, I'm good. As long as I'm good. I got paid this much for this meal. I'm good. It is what it is. Then it says, I don't think you should not be getting into a serious relationship if you're not stable and if you need to have adult calisthenics. Find an older lady postmenopausal, so no child support. Yeah, he could do that too. Somebody that doesn't want kids, that is willing to be a sugar mama. You said it, not me. But my thing again, just like Don Robinson, He's handsome. He speaks well, bilingual, most likely, right? Body for days. Why you don't have a job? People that look good get hired quicker than somebody that doesn't. I'm really confused. And he's in Philadelphia, a huge city. Why are you jobless? Forget the homelessness. Forget the no car, because you're in a big city. Not a big deal, right? Because he could ride a bike to work. He could walk. He could catch a bus, whatever. But not having a job, and then going on a dating show is diabolical. To me, that says I'm looking for somebody to take care of me. I'm going to just say that. I'm so sorry. I think it's different. Or maybe, and just like I talked about this on Love is Blind, maybe he's coming on here to get something started. Maybe this is going to be his breakout moment to get into acting. Maybe he's going to start a podcast. Maybe he's going to document his journey. And after he gets enough people with eyes on him, watch it through the show, maybe he'll start something like that. If he's doing it for that, then I can respect it. But I hope and pray that he is not on here looking for a woman to take care of him. That's not manly. I am so sorry. It's not manly. And I'm going to be honest, y'all. There's so many men out here that are wanting women to take care of them. It's not funny. They move from one woman's house to another woman's house. She kicks you out, so then you go here rather than building yourself up. You know, it just doesn't. I got him in my family. So I'm speaking from personal exposure, things that I've seen, you know, and just things that women say online, you know. I've never had a man directly ask me for money, but I have had men ask me to co-sign, and I was like, no. And the thing is, I wouldn't have minded if that person was already pouring into me. If there was balance in the relationship and everything was being reciprocated, and if he was at least contributing to my household or spending time with my son or anything like that, it wouldn't have been I would have did it in a heartbeat, because I already was thinking, like, because he had a side hustle. I was already thinking, oh, he needs a new power washer. I could do this, I was pricing them, stuff like that. But then I had to sit back and think, hold on. Nah, couldn't do it. I couldn't, you know. Thunder says, do you think the lady in her car is willing to go 50-50? Don't let these people out here get you caught up. I don't know. It doesn't sound like it, because she literally sat around for 8 months waiting for this man to get her an apartment. And I, you know, just based on that little clip, I don't know all the details, of course, but it doesn't sound like she was doing anything. Like, she did not once say, you know, I got half for the deposit. Let's just get this place. No, she was 100% relying on him. And that's where she effed up. She should have been doing her part. It probably would have made things speed up a little bit, you know? But honestly, Thunder, I don't see anything wrong with a woman not wanting to go 50-50. I just don't, you know, but that's where I stand. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not, I just don't see anything. I think it just really depends on who you're with. You have to know who you're with, and you got to know what you both bring to the table. You know, if the man can provide 100%, why the fuck not? You know what I'm saying? Why not? If he can, let him do it. A lot of men take pride in being able to care for their families 100%. There's nothing wrong with that. And I don't like the narrative that, well, Black women, you guys weren't raised to be completely taken. I don't care how we was raised. This is what we want now. So what? And some women actually deserve that. But I think if that's what you want as a woman, you have to go after men that that can do that and are willing to do that and want to do that. You know, is it realistic for everybody? Absolutely not. Because as we already know, Black people in this country are at the bottom of the economic totem pole, and a lot of us don't make enough money to 100% provide. There's nothing wrong with a wife helping her spouse. Nothing wrong with it at all. I think when we pool our money together and invest some of it, pay the bills, invest some, and do the things that we need to do, it could be a beautiful thing. Everybody has to contribute. But if you are a woman that wants to raise kids only and take care of your household, ain't nothing wrong with that at all either. Nothing at all. But that's just my opinion. You know, I think some women deserve that, especially if that's truly what they want. And if they are a Proverbs 31 woman, if they're the type of woman that will take what her husband brings in and multiply it and make that house a castle for him to come home to and relax and to debrief and just stress free, she deserves that. Absolutely. 50-50 means stagnation. If a man loves you, he wants to protect and provide for you. Thank you. We literally just talked about this on the other live with that girl, with that guy, Kirk Cashel or something like that, where he said, you know, a man that wants to provide, a man that really loves his woman is one that wants to take care. I had a troop once because I got really into budgeting and stuff like that, right? So I wanted to help everybody, especially when I learned about the thrift savings plan, the military's 401k, and that we could actually like allocate where our money is going and how we can move it into different funds and things like that. I was like, oh my God. And then when I could actually see my money growing, I was like, I don't think everybody knows about this. So I was talking to all of my troops, all of my subordinates, like, hey, do you know this? Da, da, da. And so I would take some of them aside, and one of my troops, I can't remember his name. I think his name was Evans, right? Real cool, cute guy. He had a girlfriend that was living with him. He was gonna marry her, but he wasn't ready yet. But he knew she was the one. And so he was telling me, he was like, I'm struggling. He was like, I got this bill, this. So I told him, I said, bring your bills, we're gonna talk. So we sat down. Went over all his bills. I brought up a spreadsheet. I plugged in some numbers. I said, hey, this is what you got to do to get. I said, now your woman, I said, she lives with you, right? He said, yeah. I said, does she live with you full time or does she have her own place? He said, no, she stays with me. I said, does she work? He said, no. I said, is she able to contribute anything to the household? He said, no. He said, she has nothing. She totally depends on me. And I said, well, is it possible that you could have her like get a part-time job just to help out? And he said, no. I said, but you're struggling. I said, you are in debt, bruh. I said, and you live check to check. I said, and you're overdrafted already. I said, you have a whole grown woman that lives with you. I said, can she just something on the side? And he said, no. He said, I want to take care of her. He said, I'm going to figure it out. He said, I'm going to figure it out. And so we ended up talking about second jobs for him, right? But he loved her that much. He said, no, this is all on me. I brought her here. She's in my home. I want to take care of her. I'm going to. And I said, you know what? Damn it. I want somebody to love me the way that boy loved that woman. Child. But they finally did get married eventually. And I know because they are married that things have gotten better. Because when you do things the right way God wants us to, in the right order, things just fall in line better. When you have kids out of wedlock, like I did, things don't go smooth. There's always going to be some hiccups and some problems and some heartache and some crying and all that. But when you do things the right way, God will bless it. Really. Red dye is from smashed up bugs that resembles shots. Damn it. I needed to see that though. Thank you. Shot says, no thanks. I don't know what that was for though. Leslie Thunder says, start by finding out your grow zone. Just Google what grow zone is zip code. Oh, okay. And it'll tell me what fruits and veggies I could grow here. Okay. And it'll tell you, then look up what grows in that grow zone. Okay. Gotcha. Look at Lady Diana. Hey, how are you? Thanks for being here. I hope all is well. I hope you got all the rest that you needed, man. True Saver says, Cat Williams, he's starting a studio in Atlanta, I think. Okay. Go ahead, Cat Williams. That would be, Cat is notorious. Him and Kevin Hart are known for helping out other people, other struggling artists, other comedians, other actors. They give back. Bill Cosby gave. He employed so many people, put so many people on, and then they went on and had their own thing, and then they went on. The Wayans brothers, they employ a lot of, they are just out here doing it. So that is so awesome to hear. I could see Cat Williams doing something like that for sure. No, you good, True Saver. Thanks for subscribing. Look at RC. Take care of me, please. Earth is ghetto and I'm I'm tired too. I want somebody to take care of me. So how we gonna do that? You want me to take care of you? I want you to take care of me. How we gonna? Come on, we got to work. We got to come together. Thunder says he looks like he's in good shape. Back in the 90s in New York and Miami, you could do shoot fighting. It was like underground boxing. Granted, this was before the UFC was invented. Okay, see, and that's the thing. Like, he literally, he's in shape, he's strong, he's handsome, he's bilingual. Why won't he go to Miami and start out as a personal trainer? He could probably do that there in Philadelphia. He's got 2 people that are firefighters on the show. He need to be talking to them, talking about, what do I need to do to become a firefighter? Because I got the guns. Like, put me in, coach. Why are you unemployed? This is the big question, you know. But I also understand that when things happen, right, it is so hard to get out of our heads. You feel bad about yourself, your self-esteem goes down, and it is hard to dig yourself up out of that. But that's where faith comes in, and he got to work it out. But I have a feeling that after this show, he gonna be all right, because either one of them heifers is gonna take him in, right, and help him get himself together, maybe, or he's gonna capitalize. Excuse me. Or he's gonna capitalize on the fact that he was on TV. But I have no doubt in my mind that he's gonna be okay. Cisco gonna be all right. I saw also on Instagram a person was going in, a woman, of course, and she was saying that you know, he is sorry. You know, that's probably why he ended up getting a divorce anyway, because he was letting his woman take care of him, and she got tired of his ass and kicked him out. Because how do you leave with no car and no house, and now you jobless? You know, and that could be true too. Like, we really don't know the whole scope. I want to see a clip or a video. Hopefully they will address it on the next. But I want to know. I don't need to know, right? Because it's none of my business. I'm just on here judging and just talking and having a conversation. But I think it's important for us to talk about these things because so many people go through it. You know, when I get on here, I like to talk about solution, not just what happened. I want to talk about what we can do to get ourselves out of that, right? And so I just gave Cisco like 10 million ideas. You need to be talking to them other firefighters. You need to be going to the gym, becoming a personal trainer. You need to start your own personal training. Be like, look, meet me at the park where Rocky and them used to train. And every day, you know what I'm saying, $50 a week, I'll train you. You get enough clients, bam, you got your own business. See? Solutions, right? But I like to talk about what we can do to be better. It's really, it all of it starts here. It's about what we tell ourselves, and it's about what we think about ourselves and what we see in the future. What do you want for yourself? What do you want for yourself? You know, R.C. Edson, he's got a channel where he talks to men, primarily younger men, and they actually look up to him, right? And he gives them all of the tools, all of the things. You can book a consultation. You can talk to him about your plans, your dreams, your hopes. You can tell him your damn sob story and he'll fucking listen to you, as long as you pay that fee, right? But there are people out here to help, right? And anybody can, you guys can email. I got a friend right now, I got to call back because he is not in a good place mentally. My email address is moperspective@gmail.com. Mo, M-O, perspective, no E at the end, @gmail.com. Message me, holler at me, talk to me. If you want to go into the military, you don't know what you want to do. If you're under the age of 36 and you don't know what the fuck to do, and this economy is going crazy, and you message me, and I will talk you into going into the best branch of the military, which is the Air Force. Aim high, right? But we're solution based over here. We're not just going to talk and judge. We're going to talk about solutions too. Lady Di says, I never had that experience of anyone living with me since my divorce. I never got to the point of sharing financial responsibilities or having to do favors financially. That's a blessing. Yeah. If nobody ain't ever asked you for $1,000 for an emergency, you blessed. Because that's a tough situation to be in when, number one, you don't want to do it. And number two, you can't. Sometimes you can't. And we have to also realize when we're not able to help another person. It all starts at home. It starts with self. We have to be able to take care of ourselves first before we can help anybody else. What is that thing they say when you're on the airplane? Get your oxygen first before you even help your child. Because if you're not able Then what? Bill Cosby said that too. There was a saying that Bill Cosby said about being able to help another person. I got to be able to help myself before I can help you. Otherwise, who's going to help both of us when I'm out? It all starts with home, you know. But I tell you, that is the number one test of a friendship or any relationship. You ask somebody to do something that they're uncomfortable doing, or they just don't want to do. That's a good way to test to see if that person is really your friend or not, because it's easy to be a friend when things are going good, when things are fun, right? When you can travel together, have fun, everybody got money and all that. But when one of them is down and out and they need help from the other, and that other person isn't able to or doesn't want to, that can really open your eyes to where you fit in their life. Thunder says there's nothing wrong with that. She was a famous singer. Why wasn't she wifed up? Well, you know, Thunder, everybody don't want to be married. You know, the thing is, I know a lot of people believe that, you know, marriages and all of that is the best way to live, because that way you won't die alone, right? You'll always have somebody on your team and you can always build legacy, right? But at the end of the day, everybody doesn't want that. You know, I'm pretty sure because she's still beautiful. Dawn is still beautiful, right? So back in the day, she was bad in a good sense. So I'm sure there were plenty of opportunities where she had men pining after her, but she probably followed her career, because, you know, she got out of En Vogue and then she went into Lucy Pearl, you know, and she said she did 10 million interviews and stuff like that. So she, you know, singing is probably her first love. And there's nothing wrong. Everybody is not meant to be married. That is not every woman's dream. And I know that men would love to think that. Men would love to think that all women want to be married with kids. That is simply not the case. And I'm going to prove it to you right now. Okay. Every woman that I know can easily have a man. Gilly said, I got a question for all the bad bitches, all the boss bitches out there. He said, how come, if y'all so bad, how come y'all can't keep a man? And then a lady came back to rebut that. And she said, listen, we can keep a man, but are we willing to put up with all the things that come with that man? And that's the thing. If I wanted to be married, or if I wanted a man living here, that's easy work. That's nothing. I have a vagina. That's nothing. But do we want to just have a man just for the sake of having a man? No, a lot of women are okay with being single if it is less stressful, because guess what, fellas? Women want peace too. Men talk about, all I want is my peace. Yeah, guess what? I like peace. Sign me up for some peace, please. But every time you turn around, he doing something stupid. You're like, I can't. I'd rather be alone. Let me go find my rose. Where my rose at? Which I don't have one, by the way. I know people that do, and I heard it is amazing. But I caution against the rose. I was literally just having this conversation with a gentleman last night about the rose, because he was asking me about that. And I was like, no, I said, I don't believe that women should use the rose, because from what I'm watching online, it is very powerful. It has like all these settings, and the suction that it does to the clitoris is so powerful. And so what it happens is that when you have that on there all the time, you know, when you get a man, an actual human that wants to pleasure you, it's not gonna compare. It's not gonna compare. That's just like y'all and them robots. Y'all fuck around and get them damn robot bodies, them women, them robot bodies, and you might stick it in a hole and get electrocuted. Bitch might malfunction on your ass, and you know what I'm saying? But you used to something that quiet and don't talk and feels a certain way. When you get somebody that's a human, it's not going to feel right. It's the same with porn. You are literally desensitizing all of your senses when you use these things. And the reason why I knew that the rose is probably really, really bad for you and it can desensitize you bad is because I use electric toothbrushes, right? So whenever my last electric toothbrush, something happened to it, I couldn't find the charger for it or something like that, right? So I couldn't use it. So I was using it without the, and I couldn't feel my gums as I'm brushing just manually. And I'm like, I don't feel my gums. Like I don't feel anything. I literally had to brush really, really hard and really, really fast in order to feel any sensation along my gum line. I said, oh my God. I said, because I've been using that electric toothbrush, my gums are desensitized. So I don't feel like it was cleaning so I don't know how we got here, but we did. Moving along. Oh, we were talking about being wiped out. Yeah. God does want us to multiply the earth, right? But more importantly than that, he wants us to put him first. He wants us to worship him, give him all the credit, all the honor, all the glory, every day, all day. That should be our number one priority in everything that we do. Sometimes putting God first means you can't have a partner. Sometimes you are on a mission to serve the Most High so deeply and so strongly that having another person in your life is going to stop that. God would rather us be single and worshiping him, putting him first, than to be coupled up with somebody that's going to distract us from our true purpose. Bars. Married many years. Okay, True Saver. He paid the bills. Okay, True Saver is a female now, I know. He paid the bills, and day to day, I saved my salary and invested for his church. That's what I'm talking about. That's the type of woman that deserves a man that takes care of the household 100%. Proverbs 31. God laid it out for you. That's the type of woman you want. I did a video about that. Go back and watch it. I talk about the green flags in a relationship. If you are a woman and you want a good man, you have to be a good woman first to get a good man. What is a good woman? Proverbs 31. True Saver is a Proverbs 31 woman. Her man don't mind taking care of everything. And what's she doing with the money coming in? She's saving her salary for generational wealth, for legacy, so that they can invest. Shout out to you. Thunder says, there are traditional wives, but very few are Black women. And the few I met are with the nation and the others are Hebrew. Oh, okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah. I know a couple that are Christian, but yeah. And then like my cousin, he takes care of his wife. They're Muslim. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It's probably most likely in those communities. Blame it on Timcast. I saw them on there. Okay. What up, Zoe? How are you? What you laughing at, RC? I'm about to get on up out of here, you guys. Diana says, I think that type of man would scare me. It feels a little obsessive to me. Maybe back in the 60s, it would be okay. I want to be able to take care of him too. Exactly. And that's the thing. I think a lot of people are under the impression that a lot of these women that want a man that's a provider, they believe that these women won't reciprocate in other ways. And that's simply not true. Like I said, a woman that deserves a man that's going to provide is a woman that also pours back into the household and back into that man as well, equally. Every man that I've been with that was a giver, I gave as well, because I was so appreciative of the fact that he was looking out for me. Like, oh, I want to spoil you too. I want to do this. I want to cook. I want to clean. I want to buy you gifts. I want to pay for, you know what I'm saying? It's reciprocal. It comes natural. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, the woman is supposed to take care of her man just like he takes care of her. What up, Arniba? Yes, you caught a live. I appreciate you being here. Hey, Carrie. I know Carrie from another channel. Uh, what channel is that? Alter Ego Sean. You guys go check him out. Robert says, I do a lot of pro bono, but I know that's right. He said, I like my money. I'm supposed to be showing you guys his comments. I said I was going to do that when I got back on here again, but I forgot. Absolutely not. The Army is not the best branch. Listen, if you want to go to war and be on the front line and go ahead, join the Army. Now, I'm not saying that we wusses in the Air Force, but I'm going to tell you one thing. We use our brains and we pay attention to detail. That's our thing, attention to detail. And we fly and we do all of those things. You know, any job you want, you can find it in the Air Force. If you want to be a cook, you can do that. If you want to work at the gym, you can do that. If you want to fly a plane, you can do that. Okay? If you want to work somebody with their finances, you can do that. If you want to play the trumpet, you can do that. All of those jobs are in the military. Okay? Carrie says, same, first live for me. Thanks for being here, Carrie. Thunder says, that reminds, check on the people in your life. Yes, it always seems strong and unbothered by life, especially the ones who are always helping everyone else. Amen. That is so true. Thank you for saying that, Thunder. I thought about a lady the other day and I said, I gotta call her, right? But I don't have her number. Swear to the most. Listen, I was going through a binder today and her number came out. Her number fell out of the binder. I said, are you for real? So God made it easy for me to check up on her, you know, so it was meant to be, you know. But yeah, anytime a person comes across your mind, you should check on them. Just let them know, because sometimes just that one reach out or hey text or something like that could mean the world of a difference. People seem so strong. Like when people come on these they do podcasts and they come on and you're only seeing a snippet of who they are and what they're dealing with, and they only share with you what they want to share with you. You guys have no idea what my life is like when this camera goes off. I could go to bed and cry. To go out and do something crazy, you know what I'm saying? So you just never know what a person is going through. And yes, the ones that always seem to have it together and the ones that don't like to ask for help, those are the ones you have to check on, period. Now, 9 times out of 10, they're going to say, no, thank you. Cause I'm one of the type of people, I don't like to accept help from anybody, but that's my pride. That's my ego that I have to get in check. Right. And as I'm getting older, I'm learning to accept help, and advice more. But it is difficult for somebody that is very independent. So yeah, check on your people. Very true. True Saber says, take it from me as a woman, married or not, you will most likely die alone. We live longer than them. Sad, but exactly. The husband usually dies before the wife. I saw a video one time where a black man was just going in. Oh, he was so mad. He wasn't mad. He was just venting. And it was an amazing video. And he was going in on wives. He was married. And he was just like, I'm tired. Like, I'm doing X, Y, and Z. And y'all just don't appreciate us. And he went in. And the one thing that he mentioned was the food that these black wives be cooking their husbands. He said, you always frying damn chicken and fish and French fries and collard greens and this macaroni with 10 cheeses in it. He was going in. He said, no, I got high blood pressure and diabetes because you won't cook nothing healthy. I said, let it out, brother. Let it out. I can't relate, sir. And I'm sorry that you had to go through that and you feeling it this day. He had to get that off his chest. But at the end of the day, we're all grown, right? And God gave us free will. So listen. If you are with somebody that is not being appreciative or not showing you that they love you in the way that they take care of you in the household, you got to have the conversations. At the end of the day, it boils down to communication. Tell her, can we get a Caesar salad with all the fixings once in a while? Like, it ain't that hard. So I ain't just going to put it all on the wife now. Diana says, I don't want to be a wife at this stage in my life, but I do want the love of a good man. I know that's right, Lady Di. Lady Di said, I just want somebody to watch my stories with. Thunder says, okay, I'm going to catch heat for this, but here we go. Let's put it on the thing. Thunder says, okay, it seems to me, in my opinion, a lot, not all. And I hate that we have to preface things with not all. Like at this point in time, as of us having these conversations, do we have to preface it with not everybody, y'all? I'm not talking about all Black men. I'm not talking about all Black women. I'm not talking about all children, right? We get it. Can we normalize not having to put that in the conversation? Not all, but a lot of women want wife benefits without wife duties and responsibilities. Now, what are wife benefits? Like them providing and not, I mean, and you're right, because I was watching Kendra G. I said I wasn't gonna watch it no more, but listen, if nothing ain't on, I'm a catch, a snippet here and there. And so there was a woman on there last night. She had on glasses and a cute top and bottom that was like pink. And she was saying that she wants her man. Now, mind you, she has a 4-year-old, and she's a graphic designer, something like that. So she makes almost $100,000 a year. She wanted a man that made more than her. Excuse me. And she also wanted him to be the sole provider and take on the role as the stepdaddy. And so Kendra asked her, okay, well, what are you going to bring to, like, sorry, but you do have a kid. What would you say to the man that, doesn't want, and so she also asked her, do you want more children? She said, no. So here we have a woman that is a technical boss babe who, wants a man that's going to provide. She gets to keep all her money. He has to play stepdaddy. And she's not going to have any more children for him. She was 36 years old, so she's still childbearing. And then this was the kicker. This bitch had the nerve to say, and I don't cook. First of all, how you have a 4-year-old and you don't cook? I'm scared for the child. But it's what she wanted. So I don't know how many men are going for that. I don't think many, but there's a sucker out there for everybody. Even I was like, sis, you doing too much. You doing too much. Zoe said, gotta say it. Let me put it up here. Gotta say it. Every woman can have some kind of a man. In 63 years, you never found a vagina and oh my goodness. Yes. Carrie says, same. I will probably not get married again. I just want to enjoy my life, whether it's with someone or not. I just want to enjoy what's left of my life. Yeah. And I think that's okay to admit as women, when we get older and things like that, you have so many women that are proudful and online that are just like, I don't need no, I take them, chew them up and spit them out and rotate and all that. I don't believe half of them. I do believe some women are happy being single and playing the field, right? Some women thrive in that. Some people like that stuff, and that's cool and that's fine, but it doesn't last long. And it becomes quite tiresome. Trust me. I've had my promiscuous days, and at the end of the day, it ain't all that. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with admitting that we all want companionship in some form or another. Now we may not desire marriage, but it's nice to have somebody to do things with, just to enjoy life with. Absolutely. I'm the same way, Carrie. But I do want to get married again. And it says, most men, wait, hold on. Must men just 4 things: food, adult, calisthenics, peace. And this is the hardest part for some women, not all, but some, is respect. The idea of respecting a man is heinous in the thoughts alone. And you are not lying, Thunder. Some of the videos and podcasts that I come across are just really kind of, and when you think about it, that it's coming from a bitter place because of hurt, right? Oftentimes women have just been dogged so bad to where they just turn and they just want to get online and bash, just like the men. Like you have men that come online and they have these panels and they sit there and all they do is talk bad about women all day, every day, and baby mamas, you know, and it's coming from a place of hurt. That's why they're on there, you know. And at the same time, they got somebody that they screwing and doing things with, but then they online promoting hatred and division. That's that part I don't like. Don't be sleeping with somebody and then you want to come online and bash women or bash men. Don't do it. I am a Christian, says True Saber. Had a 35-year marriage. My darling passed away last year. Oh my God. And left me financially sound for the rest of my life. He was a true lover, protector, and a provider extraordinaire. Amen. Isn't that beautiful? Even in death, he is still taking care of you. That's what we want, ladies. Somebody that cares enough about us to look out for us. I had a mentor whose husband did the same thing for her. She's a very blessed woman, older lady. I learned so much from her. And her husband did the same thing. He passed away. And again, I'm sorry for your loss, True Saver. May God grant you all the peace, you know, during this time, because everybody grieves different and you can grieve however long you need to, right? But her husband did the same thing. He had everything paid up for a certain amount of time, put everything in order to where when he died, she didn't have to think, you know. That's a beautiful thing. The Army has the best aviation program. Okay, so if anybody's interested in flying, whether you want to be a pilot or you want to be a flight engineer, load master, Army has the best aviation program. A pilot right there said it, Donovan Sadiq. Make sure you guys check out his channel as well. RC Edson's channel and Donovan Sadiq channel. Both great men on these YouTube spaces to listen to and learn from. Arneba says, I think the Coast Guard is the safest place in the military. Might be. You don't hear too much about the Coast Guard, huh? But it might be. Zoe says, Navy is the best branch. Okay. Real men and pretty women. And we use the Marines for fighting. Yes, the Marines are the war dogs, right? Yeah. The Marine got some beautiful women too, though, Zoe. Listen, somebody was telling me they seen an ugly Marine woman. I have never, ever seen an ugly Marine woman. Every woman that I knew that was in the Marine, beautiful. Body, face, everything. But yeah, the Navy, I tried to go into the Navy at first and then I was disqualified because I had a DVT in my leg and they were like, come back. And I let 2 years go, another 2 years, and then I joined the Air Force. Join the Army, be a quartermaster, and turn into Sergeant Bilko. If you know, you know. Donovan says, these podcasts and videocasts help a lot of people with their mental. It's easier to talk to. Absolutely, it is easier to talk to strangers. And that's the sad thing, is that sometimes I feel more connected to you all on here and just being in different chats, you know, because people online and through these podcasts sometimes are a little bit more transparent. And even though we get on here and we react to other people's stuff, it may seem judgmental, but at the end of the day, like I said, we are solution oriented over here, and we're just talking things out, revealing things about ourselves and getting opinions and perspectives from other people. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I love hearing how everybody else thinks, whether it's right or wrong, or whether I agree with it or not. We can still come to a common consensus that everybody's got a story and everybody understands things differently and sees the world differently. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Yeah. This space is for us. Zoe said to Donovan, not true. The Navy has the best aviation training, real planes more than the Air Force. Okay, y'all, to listen, I wasn't in the aviation field. I got my degree in aeronautics, but I did not go through with flying like I should have because I was distracted being a 304 and an alcoholic. So I let the time pass before I could do anything with it. But yeah, so the Navy, the Army, and the Air Force. I mean, if you want to fly, period, if you want to be anything in aviation, any of the branches, you can't go wrong, right? So if you are on this live and you are under the age of 36 and you want to join the military, or you're interested in it, reach out to any of these guys. R.C. Edson also was military. Alonzo Dunn, his kids are military. Donovan Sadiq, Air Force pilot. So you got all the resources. Me, medic for 20 years. Donovan says, oh, Lord, did you see Vivica Fox in her botched BBL? She became what she preached. The boss lady, don't need no man. Now she competing with the younger girls. She gave them the wrong information. I was on Instagram. I try not to stay on Instagram. I scroll a little bit. And then when it gets to like some severe ridiculousness, I click off, right? So I saw a small piece of that. I didn't play the video. I just looked at the feed as it went. And I saw that she had on white pants and I'm not going to comment because there's nothing nice I can say about that. Caesar salad ain't healthy. What? Well, listen, when I get Caesar salad, Carrie, I get the Caesar on the side and I don't eat the croutons. Does that make it healthy? Vivica sadly needs to change her name to Vivica to another canine. Terrible. Yeah, she always gets dogged out though, but I think she comes from a good place. She just wants to be loved, you know? She really does at the end of the day. And she's just searching. Maybe she's just a little lost, or maybe she's happy with all of the decisions in her life, you know? Oh man, you guys put a lot of comments. Yo, this is like the most activity I've ever had on here. And I literally got a time limit. Hold on, let me text my friend real quick and let him know I'm still going to call him. Trinidad, shut up. If you're still on the live, if you are watching, somebody text me and tell me to get off. Give me 15 minutes. Kendra G. Now Kendra G is backpedaling and pee-popping, ain't she? She's singing a whole nother tune now. I'm not gonna call her hypocrite. I just think she's seen the light. She has seen the light. I think her constant exposure to the delusions of a lot of people, she has seen the light. She says she's being blasted. Now she's saying it's character that should only matter. Shaking my head. Another victory for Kevin Samuels. She is. She's changing her tone. She's doing everything that she despised about Kevin Samuels. It is very, very interesting to see. And I'll be honest, even I have changed my stance on a lot of things. I see things like the more sober I am, the more I open my mind up, the more it is easy to see a lot of the delusions and the thought process of a lot of people, not just women too, even men. It's wild. And you just have a lot of people that are on here that are just out here to use one another. They really not into relationships. They don't want to settle down. They just want to get what they can and move on. And so if you come on a show and the first thing you talk about is he got to have 6 inches, 6-pack, 6 figures, or he got to know what he doing in bed, or he can't be a shrimp, or he can't this, or he got to have a beard and be bald. Like if those are your core preferences, something is not right with you, and you're not really looking for love, because at the end of the day, it's about what's in a person's heart. What does their heart do? And the way you see what's in a person's heart is based on the fruits that they bear. What are they bearing? Do they show love? Do they have kindness, patience, love, long suffering? If they don't have any of those things, then their spirit is in a bad place. And that's not somebody, but we're not worried about that. We worried about him having chocolate skin and being 6 feet and a big ding-a-ling. Come on now. And Kendra is tired of it. She is singing another tune. Thunder says, what I saw growing up was Papa worked, Big Mama stayed home, managed the money and the kids. When he passed, she was in a paid off home, received his pension and investment. This was and is my blueprint. I know that's right, Thunder. Arniba says, dying alone is not as bad as some people think because we're only here for a second in the big scheme of things. And when we pass, we are free. That's right. And that's the thing too, Arniba. A lot of us are not worried about the afterlife. We're not worried about what happens when our soul is gone. We are only here for a small amount of time. Back in the day, we lived for hundreds and hundreds of years, thousands of years. Now we don't live past the age of 120, right? If you're lucky to make it that far, but you still have eternity to worry about. People are so worried about getting their butter biscuits now. They want their heaven now. Ain't no heaven now. What you see on earth and what you're able to accomplish is nothing compared to what you get when you pass away, if you do what you're supposed to. Mark my words. Lady Di says, Mo, I got hooked on a new soap called Beyond. Yeah, I keep seeing that come up on the feed. I have not checked it out. I am not a soap opera girly. I used to watch Young and the Restless with my granny back in the day, Guiding Light. And what was the other one? I can't remember. But yeah, right after the Price is Right would go off, then the soaps would come on. And I've just never been a soap opera type of girly. But I did end up watching a nighttime soap opera called Revenge. If you guys ain't ever seen Revenge, Revenge is good. But I'm wondering if Beyond the Gates is like that. I might check it out, Lady Di. I really don't need to watch anything else. I've been slowly but surely cutting out my TV and my watch time, and I've been getting to bed earlier, praise God, because it's nothing like not being able to go to bed before 2 a.m. But I might check it out when I get a chance. Lady Di says, I lost my one true love. He died and I wasn't by his side. I'm so sorry to hear that. I loved him, but he died alone anyway. I didn't know until he had been dead for 5 years after. Oh my goodness. Oh no. So when you finally found out and was able to find out, get an update on him, he had already been gone for 5 years. Wow. Arniba, that is quite true. We are only here for a blip. We here and then we gone. My son was freaking out one day when he finally realized that we don't live forever. And this literally happened like 4 months ago. He was like, we're all going to die, right? And I'm like, yep. Now he knows people die. He was there when my mama died and I was on the phone freaking out. So he knows death is imminent, but I don't think it really settled with him until a few months ago. And he was like, I don't want to die. I was like, I know, son. Nobody really wants to. I said, but you still have your whole life ahead of you. I said, promise you, by the time you get old and all that, you're going to be ready to go. You're going to be ready to go and be with God. So, of course, he had all these questions about heaven and what it's like. Is he going to be bored? Can he take his game system with him? So cute. I love it. Let's look at Bossman. He traditionally has everything, money, power, but he dies alone in his mansion. Now the women are chasing the same and the outcome will be the same. It will not change if you're female. Facts. It's the same. We all are going to die alone. Shot says, never. Everybody saying what's up to each other. I'm delayed on the crappy NYC MTA. Okay, be safe, Shots. Especially if you on that scooter. Lady Di says, I have learned a lot from watching and listening to you, Mo. Oh, thank you, Lady Di. Same with you, just by reading your books and stuff. Make sure you guys check out Lady D.E. Evans, D.E.Evans. She's got books on Amazon. Very, very good reads. Check that out. Arniba, you don't hear much about the Coast Guard because there's not much action in what they do. Yeah, that's why it's the safest place to be if you want to join the military. I think the only thing I would be worried about as far as the Coast Guard is coming across, you know, a shipment of drugs and that going south, you know. But I think there's risk in any branch that you join. But I think if you want stability and you are a worker bee and you just want to be told what to do, you just need a break and you just want to be told what to do and make some money and establish something that's going to provide for you and your family, whether it be in education, you can get a degree or a retirement check or a pension, start you a 401k. If you need something like that right now, because whatever you're doing right now is not working, and you are stressed the hell out, there is nothing wrong with serving your country. Nothing wrong with serving your country. Just do it. And you don't have to do 20 years like me and Donovan. You can go in for 4, get your education, finish your education when you get out, get your advanced degree, get benefits if you get hurt while you're in. There's so many benefits to it. Why not? Especially if you don't know what you're going to do, or if you have a lot of debt. Go in the military. Knock that out. Okay, Zoe also was military. Okay, so he was air traffic controller, Navy and Civil Service. There you go. We got all this experience on the live. All of these people can tell you it's not a bad gig. It's worth it. Air traffic control, that is one of the most prestigious jobs you can have. I always had so much respect for air traffic controllers. And I actually had 2 friends that were Black females that were air traffic controllers. And I just looked at them like, because on the outside, them heifers was something else. I'm like, you smart enough to be an air traffic controller? But at the same point, I was impressed. Like, and I only say that not because they were Black females. I said that because they were wild. I'm not going to say anything else. We lived in the dorms. Very true, Mo. I appreciate hearing how others see the same things. I do from differing viewpoints. Absolutely. Let's make sure you hit the like button. Yes, thank you. Hit the like. For some reason, StreamYard, I hear this all the time that everybody has a love-hate with StreamYard, love-hate relationship with StreamYard. When I do a video on StreamYard, like a live, the algorithm does not push my videos. They just won't. I don't know what it is. I don't know what StreamYard. Maybe YouTube just don't like StreamYard. Maybe I have to find another streaming app that the algorithm likes that will push. But when I do videos on StreamYard, I do not get many views. And I think we be talking about some good stuff, right? You guys' input makes the live. It makes the live, So yes, hit that button, please, if you're here. That way the algorithm can push it a little bit more. Run up the likes on your way in or passing through. Thank you, Shots. Lady Di says he must have a heartbeat and a brain function. I just need him to breathe. Just breathe, baby, and tell me what I want to hear, and we good. See, like Lady Diana, she ain't hard to please, and she's a beautiful woman. Beautiful. Okay? Looks and brain, and all she wants is a man that just got a brain. That's not asking for much. Come on now. Donald says, you lying. 120? Doge found a bunch of people living 150 years. Yep. And they was collecting that Social Security too, while in the grave, while somebody was pretending to be them. It was all them damn Doge workers, all of them not military, but government officials collecting them paychecks, having all that Social Security money funneled to their offshore accounts in the Caymans. We know what was that. Lady Di says, my darling served. He blesses me with USAA insurance, the best in the world. You know it. And you know it. Look at Bakari. Hey, Bakari. How you doing? Bakari, you got here at the very end, honey. I am about to get off. I got to get off and make a phone call. But this was a really great stream. I hope you go back and watch the replay, or at least some of it, baby. But I will talk to you guys later. God bless. Take care. Take care of each other. And I will see you guys soon. I'm going to upload a video later that I have to edit, but make sure you guys go back and watch it. And any of the things that I referenced in this video, go back and watch those videos too, especially the one about the Proverbs 31 woman and green flags in relationships. I think I did a pretty good job on that one. But you getting ready for work? Okay, well, have a good day at work. Be safe. Later, Thunder, later, Donovan, later, Truth Saber, later, everybody, DMW, Arniba, Zoe, Shots, Carrie. Yep, everybody. I appreciate you all. All right, take care.